Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play Elder Scrolls Arena. Where basically we've found yet another random dungeon and been beset on by orcs already. Because they've literally spawned in the walls because that's the game. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got? Don't have a mark of light, but by the looks of it, we're not going to need it. And I don't think we've definitely not seen this module before. This looks like it's a fort in the middle of a room. I have not come across this layout. We've not come across this layout before. Not in a modular dungeon. Found the south wall there. Yeah. That is interesting. So I kind of wanted to rush to this. Basically because we've not seen it before. What I am going to do is we rush through the middle, but we're going to go down and we'll go around this way because that kind of feels like a good thing to do. And we got to pick a direction somehow, right? And of course the fun part is we're high enough level that expecting this game to be kind of fair at this point is a bit... It's not going to happen, put it that way. When I say be fair, I mean we're like going to get all the higher level monsters as a random encounters, and resting is going to be an absolute nightmare, that sort of thing. But that's what you get when you're this sort of level. I mean, we're pretty well buffed, so I'm not too worried. It's not like it's got a walk in the park. More like a grind in the park is the best way to describe it. Yeah, so this is probably a 4x4. I don't know how many levels, probably 2, possibly 3. Maybe even just a 1, depending on how, if we're unlucky, who knows. Enemies are nearby, groovy. Okay, let's find somewhere else to rest then. I've got enough that I can afford to press on. I mean, anyone who's been watching me knows I have a fairly standard set routine for exploring these dungeons. Well, just try and get around the outside and then fill it in. Let's have a look at that map. Yeah. Damn, okay. Let's go find these enemies then. Probably around here. Given where he rested in the... No? Okay. Yeah. They followed us. They're not sure what happened there. Still more enemies. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I was just in that room. Still, never mind. What you're gonna do? That'll do. I mean, how many hit points do I actually have? Help 233 of 269. Okay. I mean, I think I've said this several times. I think a remake of this original game would be great. Especially if it's combined with the current technologies, as it were. You know, the opportunity for DLCs and modding and that sort of thing. And I do like, I mean, for example, I do like the idea of being able to go into everybody's house and It's just that all the houses are it's so modular that all the houses are the same that it just kind of becomes pointless. Yeah, this is this corner stairway. That's interesting. So it would be nice if there was something that kind of gave a bit more meaning to a lot more of the random elements of the game. You know, quests that give you kind of a reason to explore houses or speak to NPCs or stuff like that, you know. And give you a reason to loot the castles in the wilderness and I mean, all of the quest dungeons are all hand designed and they're great. Really enjoy those. I mean, all the artifact dungeons, I think they're all, I don't know. Screw it. They're gonna get bad because there's like 20 trolls on here. Is there any reason for this, or is it just being annoying? No, apparently there isn't. This is just it. Okay. I bet you by the time I get back on here, the trolls are all regenerated. No, I'm surprised. Surprised. Hit them so hard they're not regenerated. Okay. I mean, I'm not so good at tanking hits as I was, but then that's because I've kind of swapped out a lot of my defensive stuff for ability boosting stuff. So until I can level up, and it's a bit unfair. So yeah, until I can level up increase some of my stat boosting bits, because my natural stats aren't that brilliant.
You were a fool to confront.
Yep, I know. Not what I want to do, is it? I mean, it's like, look at me now, I'm at 9. But why don't I have any healing? Well, because your healing gets used up too quickly. In my opinion. And if you're healing, then you're not resting. And resting helps because resting for us as a knight means we get to repair our stuff. Our weapons never break as long as we're resting. If we're healing, then we can literally go to the point where our weapons are broken. Find where these are now. Over here. So for us, resting is good. There's no time limit, so it's not like we're in a rush for anything. Especially when we're just exploring these random dungeons. The main quest ain't going anywhere. That's the truth of the matter. The main quest ain't going anywhere at all. So even if we spend like 20 years of game time, it doesn't matter to us. In reality, what's happening to us is the cost for us is pretty much the time we want to spend in this game. Which basically means that if I'm spending time recording this, I'm not spending time recording something else. Or playing something else, because I don't spend all my time recording. Because that's far too draining. That goes under there. Oh, we've seen this before. There's no... Luckily, we can't break the map. Because there's no getting out there. It just stops. Which is good. Anyone who knows anything about Daggerfall will know why that's good. Basically, the dungeons in Daggerfall are 3D mazes. Proper 3D dungeons. Pardon me. But they tend to be a bit glitchy because of how they're made up. And the tech. And one of the things was just how easy it was to clip through the walls. And if you clip through the walls, you'd end up running on top of the dungeon or whatever in basically what was the dungeon box. Basically a skybox for the dungeon, really. And if you... I mean, you could try and glitch your way back in pretty much the same way. But if you kind of... and you could walk on the top of the dungeon. But if you fell off, quite often you would end up falling to the bottom corner of the dungeon box with no way to get back without reloading. It was amusing but also annoying. Damn you! Well, I'm surprised that worked. Very surprised. So back with the resting. I mean, if I look at what I've got, pretty much everything that I want is done. I mean, I've got my sword. Got a couple of other bits of willpower as well. So yeah, willpower I need to get up. Then I can take the few bits of other bits of willpower off and start looking at better stuff. Agility, joints, and strength as well. So basically, the ones that are all 100, which are what I need. They all need to be. If I can add them and start upgrading them to the point where I can start turning off some of my other bits. And then I can replace them for something better. Like more defensive. So... The irony is when I'm resting like this is pretty much where I'm gaining most of my experience. So I'm not usually too worried about it. And normally what happens, you'll get to a certain point where it's just like, okay, you've done basically grinding your random experience for whatever. We've done feeding your experience addiction. So we'll just kind of let you level up. But it's one of those games that, because of the way that it is, I have absolutely no compunctions about save scumming at all. It's like... See? You know, because of the way it is, I mean... It's like, we're in here, where did they come from? Well... We know where they come from. I mean, they basically they spawned, and it spawned when it says, okay, you're spawning something. It spawns a group of 3 warriors, and then they place them. You know, but because this spawn is where you are and not like somewhere else in the dungeon, it's not a set encounter, as it were. You know, they don't they don't necessarily walk towards you. They just appear. You know. The thing is, in the early games, that was your classic. It's the classic sign of close enough is good enough. Kind of. It served the function. You got your action. You know. And given what was on the market at the time, nobody really complains. And nobody did really complain. I mean, despite all the glitches and the quirks and the other bits of all these old games, you know, they're still good games. You know, it's like people who enjoy playing like the original Fighting Fantasy, for example. By today's standards, they're not. It's not exactly Fighting Fantasy 14 or whatever, but it's still good games. Still good games with good stories, you know. Let's have a look. How are we doing? Well, we've got that bit there. We've got this corner here. I don't know if there's another level to this yet. The 3 stairways, the 2 stairways we've found so far ain't going down. There'd be one about, following the pattern, there'd be one, as always, there's one about there, where it would go down. So we'll see. You know, I mean, we're just here to explore, so I'm going to leave it here. So this has been Vane doing a Let's Play Elder Scrolls Arena. If you like what you're seeing here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. Please consider sponsoring me on Patreon. And until next time, goodbye.